Sir, we have achieved soft landing on the moon. India is on the moon.
हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम
Thank you very much for tuning in to Mirror Now this evening. In a giant leap for its space program, India's moon mission Chandrayaan 3 touched down successfully on the lunar south pole at 6:04 p.m., propelling the country to an exclusive club of 4 and making it the first country to land on the uncharted surface. Now, with this, India, of course, has scripted history as ISRO's ambitious third moon mission Chandrayaan 3's lander module touched down on the lunar surface, making it only the fourth country to accomplish the feat and the first, of course, to reach the uncharted south pole of Earth's only natural satellite. We'll, of course, get talking about this, but let's listen to all the reactions first.
Let me take this opportunity to thank the people behind this mission, the project director of Chandrayaan 3. He is here. Veera Muthuvel, congratulations to you. The Associate Project Director, Kalpana, and the Mission Operations Director, Srikanth. And the satellite was built at your Rao Satellite Center, Shankar and the director.
I think it's all clear to you. I don't have to tell. See, when it is such a tough journey for going to moon and landing, soft landing, which is very difficult for any nation to achieve today, even with the advancement of technology, and we achieving it in just two missions. The first mission had a narrow miss, and now we achieved it so perfectly. It gives confidence to configure missions to not only going to moon, going to Mars, sometimes land on the Mars, maybe in the future going to Venus and other planets, and also sometimes go beyond asteroids and others. We should think about it. I think you should all support us to plan such missions with a very, very cost-effective mission. Nobody in the world can ever do like this what we do, and nobody will be able to succeed maybe in the minimum most attempts. So I request each one of your support, encouragement. The whole of the nation should be behind us to do this.
The entire mission operations, right from launch till landing, happened flawlessly as per the timeline, and we became the fourth country to demonstrate the soft landing onto the moon surface, and we became the first country to go to near to the south pole of the moon. I take this opportunity to thank navigation, guidance and control team, propulsion team, sensors team and all the mainframe subsystems team who have brought success to this mission. I also take the opportunity to thank the Critical Operations Review Committee for thoroughly reviewing the mission operations right from...
So the Prime Minister personally and also addressed the nation. He said he's spoken about Mars and Venus. How does ISRO now look at the priorities?
Our priority is not
अब आज के बाद से चांद से जुड़े मिथक बदल जाएंगे, कथानक भी बदल जाएंगे और नई पीढ़ी के लिए कहावतें भी बदल जाएगी। भारत में तो हम सभी लोग धरती को मां कहते हैं और चांद को मामा बुलाते हैं। कभी कहा जाता था चंदा मामा बहुत दूर के हैं, चंदा मामा बहुत दूर के हैं। अब एक दिन वो भी आएगा जब बच्चे कहा करेंगे चंदा मामा बस एक टूर के हैं।
All right, we'll of course get talking about everything that has transpired with this successful feat that India has managed. But let me go across to my colleague Pradeep joining me live on the broadcast. Pradeep, very good evening. Historic day that has been scripted for India. Everyone, of course, is beaming with pride today, and thanks to the effort of Team ISRO. Tell us the sense of mood on the ground this evening.
See, all I can say that everybody here is excited. History has finally been made. 1.4 billion prayers have been answered. And here you can see I'm joined by the CRPF personnel and everybody here is enjoying. Bharat Mata ki Jai! Bharat Mata ki Jai! कितना बड़ा दिन है आज का?
आज बहुत बड़ा दिन है साहब। आज ऐतिहासिक दिन है आज का। हमारे वैज्ञानिकों ने
क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
आज तो हम ये कहना चाहते हैं कि हमारे बच्चों के लिए बहुत बड़े काम किया आज वैज्ञानिकों ने।
आप हो जाएगा थोड़ा नाचोगे? बजाइए थोड़ा सा। We want to celebrate this occasion because this is a very big day. Finally, the history has been made. We have been waiting for this moment for the last so many years. सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, नजर ना हम पे डालो, चाहे जितना जोर लगा, सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी। हिंदुस्तानी हमने कहा है, तुम भी कहो, मेरे साथ गाओ। हमने कहा है जो तुम भी कहोगे। See, you can see everybody here is celebrating because such a big day. They have been waiting for this moment since morning. From Chandrayaan to Chandrayaan, finally India has conquered moon. Moon आज conquer कर दिया। कैसा लग रहा है?
आज बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है।
बहुत हैप्पी है आज के इस अवसर पर। हम बहुत ज्यादा खुश हैं।
कोई कुछ गा के सुनाएगा? चक दे
फटे इंडिया,
चक दे फटे नब्बे किल्ली, कदे दिल्ली ते कदम चंद्रयान मामा, जोर से हो जा। हो चक दे इंडिया, चक दे, हो चक दे इंडिया, चक दे, हो चक दे इंडिया, चक दे, हो चक दे।
One second, sir, can you just hold the other, sir is speaking. With me is the ISRO chairman, Mr. Somnath, the man of the moment, sir. Congratulations to you and to the entire team for this, grand success.
Hello, sir.
Guys, 1 second. Guys, one.
I had to go.
So, 1 second.
Sir, गाड़ी
So, as you go, 1 second. So, congratulations to you. Big moment, sir. Big moment for you.
बंद करो यार, बंद करो।
Trying to get a very important reaction from the man of the moment as well. We'll try, of course, getting in a bit of word from him as well in a while. But let me take this conversation forward with all our special guests joining us this evening. Let me take this opportunity to introduce them. Group Captain Dr. V.N. Jha, Senior Scientist and Joint Director DRDO, retired. Shantanu, astronomer and space communicator, as well as Dr. Srimathy Kesan, founder of CEO Space Kids India. Thank you. Good evening to all of you for joining us here on Mirror Now this evening. Let me go across to Group Captain Dr. Jha first. What a proud moment. We have just witnessed history, and India will, of course, always remember this day thanks to the minds and tireless efforts of Team ISRO.
Nivedhana, compliments to Team Times Now and Mirror Now. Compliments, hearty congratulations to the entire nations for the feat achieved. This is the result of the 24/7 efforts of our scientists who have been toiling virtually for the last so many years. They came so close to achieving the aim in 2019, but for those last few seconds. And this time, we were absolutely confident that it is going to make the landing. And Nivedhana, I must tell you, today I have been telling to everyone, everyone used to say that those last 18 minutes are going to be the moments of terror. No, believe in our scientists. I have been telling for last many days that these 18 minutes this time is going to be the time of scientific marvel that India has, that India possesses. It is going to be the time of perfection. And that's what we have seen. We have been having absolutely no doubt that with the changes incorporated in the lander this time, Vikram this time, there is absolutely not even a single stone unturned that could have become a hurdle. So ISRO had done everything. Nation has been praying for it, day in and day out. Everyone, 1.4 billions, have been praying for it. And even in the world, there have been a moment of enthusiasm all over the world that South Pole somehow has been eluding the entire world, be it whosoever it is that they have attempted in the past, they couldn't succeed it. So now we have attempted it. India is the first. Neil Armstrong was the first to land there. India is first to be remembered for landing on the south pole of the moon. And it is only the beginning of the scientific journey. Hereafter, the entire journey starts. Now, in another few hours, rover will come out of the lander of the Vikram, and it will start its journey thereafter,
Right, Dr. Jha.
experimentation thereafter. It will be for one lunar day now, and at the end of the one lunar day, that is the evening of 14 days later, again, all the systems will shut down, go sleep, will wake up again after another 14 days. Such many cycles I can
Dr.
foresee
Jha,
it will
I
be
will
happening.
interject you there because that's of course something that everybody has on their minds in terms of what's going to be happening next. So we'll talk a little bit about that in detail as I come back to you in a couple of minutes. But let me get Dr. Kesan into the conversation as well. Dr. Kesan, as we speak about this very proud moment that we've been able to achieve, and all of us, of course, live the moment today. But like Dr. Jha was talking about, the descending of the lander, those crucial minutes, which was called the 15 minutes of terror, just going back and reliving that experience. At what point did you know we're past the crucial phase and are on our way to script history?
Tra-la-la-la-la, one-way ticket, one-way ticket, one-way ticket to the moon. This is ringing in my ears. I'm so happy, so excited. And you know what? You guys have been doing the awareness program right from the launch, and we've also been talking and sharing our thoughts, saying that this time it's not going to be a terrorizing moment. No crossing fingers, all the fingers open, and still proudly saying that we are going to be landing this time. It's not overconfidence, but it was a super confident moment, though we were seeing that, the clock ticking 63, 64, still that one thump in the heart, but yet the confidence beaming. And we had about 200 children around with us, Mrinal, and we celebrated that with so much of gusto here at Chennai. And you must see the positivity emulated by these children. From 3 o'clock, they were with us, singing and dancing and telling that, ma'am, don't worry, this time we are going to land. So that's the happiness and the glorious moment for us, all Indians.
Absolutely, Dr. Kesan, as you talk about that and also take us through all that exciting reactions, and of course how you pointed out how young voices also did manage to be a part of this historic moment. Let me get in Shantanu, who's also joining us from the studio. Shantanu, just speaking about how we've managed to script our history. What was your first reaction as well? And talking about the feat of Indian space mission moons as well.
So the moment, I had goosebumps the moment all the scientists just rose up on their feet, and we knew that we had achieved that big hurdle that we wanted to. We've gotten over it. And I think I feel really, happy for especially Dr. K. Sivan also, because the last time we were not able to achieve that, it was very sad to see a man of such great stature cry. But today I'm sure he's crying again, but these tears will be tears of happiness. As most Indians, we are so emotional right now. And I think we've shown that, India has that capability of Atmanirbharta, that we do not need to rely on someone else. we can build reliable technologies, and we can achieve something that everyone can also achieve, but in a more efficient manner. So I think my heartiest congratulations go out to all the scientists working at ISRO, and not just them, but all the people working in the background, the people who are responsible from, for the smallest bolt that goes into the rover, to the people who were responsible for passing on the commands from the command center. So big congratulations to everyone out there.
Absolutely, Shantanu. As you pointed out, Dr. Jha, let me come back to you. Of course, this is all, the excitement, the moment of excitement rather, and we all are beaming with joy today thanks to the efforts of Team ISRO and Team Chandrayaan 3 as well. But you were talking about the next aspect. We do hear that the rover is going to be going on a moonwalk. Is that the case? What can we expect next?
Oh, yes. Nivedhana, we have got bad eyes in the sense that we see many things happening which many don't see. Like a doctor looking at a beautiful lady. That lady is beautiful, but doctor's eye, damn it, it will be reading that she has got anemia, she has got so-and-so, she has got so-and-so. Like that, we scientists are also. The last few seconds, I was just keeping my fingers crossed today, because the concept that had been given into this Chandrayaan 3 with the extra fuel, that it should be able to maneuver in and around, and that was required today. It was done today, and I was only, complimenting the entire team ISRO. That thank you so much to have put into that extra kilograms of the fuel into it, those those efficient engine, which it could maneuver with the camera looking downward. That was the absolutely need of this particular maneuver. And despite the area that 4 kilometer long and 2.4 kilometer wide area having been identified by our orbiter, which is orbiting for last 3.5 years. Despite that, in the last 3 days, every pass that Chandrayaan 3 has made over that area, it has taken the high resolution photograph, and then ISRO has put all those photographs and made a 3-dimensional sort of picture. Despite all those things, it needed the space to maneuver. This was, the Americans' experience of Apollo 11 also when it went for landing. That area where it went for landing was supposed to be absolutely flat, but when it came to very close, then they found no, it is not a flat area. It is at a very slant, uneven. Had they landed there, they would have toppled down. So this time also we saw in the last few seconds that Chandrayaan 3 was trying to maneuver itself around. So that reminded me that yes, thank you, Team ISRO, that you had taken this calculation of adding those few things and putting this concept, this logic into the computer of the ISRO, of the Chandrayaan 3, to maneuver itself before sitting somewhere where it found flat. So those were the things. And of course, today is the sunrise in that area. So now those solar panels will deploy. Solar panel will start creating energy, and with that energy, all those subsequent operations will start, and we will only see it happening subsequently. Today, we have achieved phase 8 of the moon mission, Chandrayaan 3. Phase 1 was the liftoff from ISRO, and phase 10 is the landing today. Now, phase 8 is the landing today. Phase 9 will deploy all these solar panels, established communications, deploy the rover. Rover also will have the data link established with the lander. And then phase 10 will be the experimentations and the transfer of data. So ISRO has achieved everything. Compliment to it. Hats off to the team ISRO who have put them there, day in and day out. They must have lived in Chandrayaan 3 for last many years into it, especially last few months. They must be dreaming, eating, sleeping Chandrayaan and Chandrayaan and Chandrayaan. So hats off to them. And that is the usually we scientists, we live. We develop that passion for any technology that we develop. And this is a technology what PM Modi hinted that the entire world should look at it and should adopt it, should follow it. India would be ready to share it, but at a cost. That financial viability, the commercial aspect of it will be very, very relevant in the coming days, months, and the years. Nivedhana.
Absolutely, Dr. Jain. Like you said, that passion has resulted in all of us beaming with pride today. But let's quickly listen into some reactions coming in, and then we'll get this conversation going.
चंद्रयान 3 की सफल लैंडिंग के लिए इस मिशन से जुड़े देश के सभी वैज्ञानिकों को, देश की जनता को हार्दिक बधाई। देश को इस ऐतिहासिक उपलब्धि के लिए गौरवान्वित होने के लिए अवसर देने के लिए आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का भी हार्दिक अभिनंदन, जिनके कुशल नेतृत्व में देश सफलता के नित नए कीर्तिमान स्थापित कर रहा है। प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत अंतरिक्ष के क्षेत्र में अपना अलग अनोखी पहचान बना रहा है। ये आत्मनिर्भर भारत का मंत्र पर खरा उतर रहा है। महज 4 साल के अंतराल में चंद्रयान 3 का सफलतापूर्वक प्रक्षेपण माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के अथक प्रयासों और हमारे वैज्ञानिकों की अद्भुत क्षमता के बिना संभव नहीं था।
देखिए, मैं समझता हूं 23 अगस्त 2023 भारत के इतिहास में सोने अक्षरों में लिखा जाएगा। अंग्रेजी में फिगरेटिवली हम कहते थे वांटिंग टू रीच द मून। अभी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा स्काई इज द लिमिट। देखिए कहां ये यात्रा शुरू हुई और कहां भारत दुनिया विश्व भर में पहला देश है which has done a successful landing on the South Pole. पहला देश।
Congratulations to you and through you to the whole country and the whole scientific community of the world. That end of the day we have successfully done what literally where no man has been before. And credit to the scientists of India, credit to the scientific community of the world which has put in a lot of effort.
ISRO's achievement today reflect a saga of continuity and a truly fantastic. In February of 1962, Homi Bhabha and Vikram Sarabhai, their farsightedness created INCOSPAR, the Indian National Committee on Space Research. Incidentally, one of the first recruits to INCOSPAR was none other than APJ Abdul Kalam. ISRO's accomplishments have always been anchored in self-reliance. They reflect collective team spirit, they reflect partnerships, they reflect enterprise, and in my view, they also reflect phenomenal teamwork. It's a matter of great pride for all of Indians. The entire world today is looking up to ISRO, acknowledges the achievement of ISRO, and for us Indians, it's a matter of special pride.
You just take this, India created new history in the, in fact, Chandrayaan 3 has landed on the moon.
Today, our country has the confidence of tackling any difficult situation, making sure that we can counter every challenge that we face and achieve things which are very, very difficult, which are considered difficult by the entire world. Our Prime Minister has given us the, मैं अगर हिंदी में अगर इसको बोलूं, हमारी संकल्प शक्ति का ये बहुत बड़ा निशान है, उसकी उपलब्धि है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो विकसित देश बनाने का, विकसित भारत बनाने का संकल्प देश के सामने रखा है, ये उसकी एक उपलब्धि।
Going to be glued to the television this evening with my entire family, and I think what a proud moment for all of us to be watching the Chandrayaan.
All right, let me also take the opportunity to introduce our next guest, G. Madhavan Nair, former chairman of ISRO, joining me on the show as well. Madhavan Nair, appreciate you also taking the time out and joining us here on Mirror Now. Like we were having this conversation right before you joined us. What an absolutely a proud moment for every Indian, but this of course reflects the tireless effort of Team ISRO, which has managed to give us this historical moment. Mr. Nair, if you can hear me, good evening. Thank you very much for taking the time out and joining us here. Like, all our panelists were also discussing what a proud moment this is. Your first viewpoint.
It's a remarkable achievement as far as the Indian space program is concerned. And we have been dreaming for this moment for almost 2 decades. And today it has become a reality, touching on the surface of the moon. And that again, there is no other country has done so precisely. It's a totally
Mr. Nair, if you could unmute yourself.
To have our craft land with the textbook precision is something which is fantastic. And I don't think any other country has done so well in this business. And today it shows the technical strength of the Indian space technologies, and definitely it will be a global standard in the days to come. It is not only it provides a stepping stone for the future planetary explorations of the country, but also it will provide valuable scientific information. So that way it's going to be a unique contribution to the global scientific community from India. And Prime Minister Ji has nicely recognized the contributions of the scientists in the country, and he has complimented the ISRO team for this remark.
Mr. Nair, as you make this point, I think in between we did lose your voice there a little bit, but of course you are talking about how this is a crucial aspect and a proud moment for every Indian. But let me go across to my colleague Deepak, who continuously got us all those reactions and of course was trying to get in a word from the man of the moment as well. Deepak, this was the moment we were all looking forward to. Clearly there is a reason for all of us to be very proud this evening, but over to you to also tell us the quick sense of what's really happening on the ground. And we do understand you have the team also joining you.
Yeah. Yes, I'm with the director of ISTRAC, Mr. Ramakrishna, with us. Sir, firstly, congratulations to you. Well, ISTRAC has been the place which, be it Chandrayaan 1, 2 or 3, everything is controlled from here. You're the director of, of ISTRAC. How important do you feel that this particular mission is for the entire country, sir?
It is I can say, a golden achievement what the country can do by this Chandrayaan 3 soft landing. Soft landing on any planet or any object on an external planet is not that easy. It's a very, very complex system. We should know the planet regolith, how the geological conditions are there, and where we can land safely. So actually, though we had certain problem in Chandrayaan 2, but Chandrayaan 2 orbiter had a very high resolution camera. We're using the high resolution, even that is the best in the world today what we have. So with that camera, we have imaged the place where we want to land. And that image we used to construct something called digital elevation model. Using the digital elevation model, we could find out where is the crater, where is the boulder, where we can land, where we cannot land. All these points we had fixed. And based on that, we could decide where we can land, and definitely it is the most difficult part of any landing system.
So I would want to ask you another question, because you were there while the soft landing happened. We saw the celebrations. Take us through those moments, because that is something that all of you are looking forward to. To ensure that you applauded at the end of all of that.
Correct. So every step in the lander, when the lander starts, there are so many phases of landing. So it started with the rough braking phase, where the Chandrayaan lander is traveling at 1.6 kilometers per second. I have to bring down the velocity to 0 meters per second to start landing vertically. So I have to brake the lander, so that when the rough braking started, that was the moment at which everything we felt. This is the time where we are going to see the efforts. Yeah, it is going to pay off. And even the smallest hitch anywhere, it can result in a failure of a mission. So we need to ensure under different conditions, this entire thing goes smoothly. And roughly after rough braking phase, we had to determine where we are. Okay, and then we have to go for fine braking where vertical velocity is made 0. And then we had a hovering phase where, as you saw in the video probably, the lander was standing there. So the gravity, the acceleration due to gravity of moon and the thrust what we are giving should compensate each other, and it should stand there. That was the very important phase for the Chandrayaan 3 lander.
Sir, we've landed. The soft landing has been achieved. Now, of course, it's time for the experiments to be conducted on top of the moon. The row, I was just looking at my watch because, 6:04 is when we landed. We're at about 7:30 at this point in time. So it's already been over an hour. We're expecting, of course, the rover to come out of the lander in about 2 hours.
Yes.
Tell us about that phase.
Yeah, that is also another very, very important phase. Having landed on moon, now we have to do the experiments. So we have 7 instruments on lander and rover. So each one of them have got a purpose. One is to find out the atmospheric composition. Another is to find the soil composition. Another one is to find is there any volcanic activity. So like this, we have several instruments which are going to do scientific experiments. So the rover rolling down is the start of all our experiment, which we would intend to complete in the next 12 days.
And also, I believe there is also the Ashoka Chakra on the wheels of the rover, sir. So technically, if there is, is that some form of light that will reflect, or is it going to be a reflection? Take us through, because that's imprinting India on the moon.
Yes, Ashoka Chakra is there. As we move along, the imprints, whatever put by the wheel on the soil, will remain as it is because there is no atmosphere. So what we are going to do, we are planning to take the image of that Ashoka Chakra on the moon and show it to you people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ramakrishna, for speaking to us. Well, that was, in fact, Mr. Ramakrishna. He's the director of ISRO, speaking to us, giving a detailed lowdown as to, what the process that went about and also what we can expect in the next couple of hours. Back to you.
Right, Deepak, I appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. We leave the conversation at that for the moment, but we continue to go back to our guests who, of course, continue to stay with us as well. Dr. Jha, as we speak about this, of course, my colleague was in conversation and they were talking about what the next step is. But I want to come back to the point that you were making about how far rather, India has come as far as achieving this feat is concerned. And one can, of course, see exciting opportunities ahead for Indian space missions and probably even potential collaborations.
You are asking me? Are you asking me?
Yes, Dr. Jha.
Are you asking me?
Yes, Dr. Jha, go ahead.
Are you asking me? Hello?
Yes, Dr. Jha, if you can hear me, I'm asking you, please go ahead.
I'll call you. I'll call you up.
All right,
These are the moments.
We'll try coming back to Dr. Jha.
Yeah, I thought to someone else. These are the moments that just started. Look, here after we start, first the confidence that we have.
Dr. Jha, I'd have to interject you there. Just give me a minute. I'm going to come back to you. I do understand that my colleague Pradeep is also joining me. I apologize for that. Pradeep, very good evening. We do understand that you are also with a lot of people who are celebrating this moment. Take us to all the reactions. We did see how excited people were previously as well.
See, the celebration is refusing to die till this is one of the biggest ever day for the country. Finally, Chaand ki sateh pe fatah, finally the moon has been conquered. Bharat Mata ki Jai! Bharat Mata ki Jai! Everybody is celebrating. कितना बड़ा दिन है आज?
आज बहुत ही बड़ा दिन है आज हम लोगों के लिए.
क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
पूरे भारतवासियों के लिए ऐतिहासिक पल है ये.
क्या गाना चाहेंगे? इसरो हमें किस मोड़ पे ले आया? हाय हाय कोई ये बताए क्या हो गया? इसरो हमें किस मोड़ पे ले आया? हाय हाय क्या होगा? कितना खुश महसूस कर रहे हैं?
पूरा आज दिवाली का दिन है पूरे इंडिया के लिए। भारत माता की जय।
This is not a normal day. They are saying this is a Diwali day for them, and you can see these brave hearts wearing uniform 166 Battalion of CRPF here, who is involved in counter-terror operation right now. They seem to be celebrating, and this is the scene. Everywhere, everybody seems to be.
सोनियो वे नचांगे सारी रात, सोनियो वे कर लो थोड़ा सा प्यार, सोनियो वे कर लो थोड़ा सा प्यार। इसरो हमें किस मोड़ पे ले आया, कोई ये बताए